Hello, everybody. I just need to double
Hello.
check and make sure we are live on not YouTube, but the YouTube. I was watching, I was watching some skit. I think it might have been Black Lady Sketch Show, and Cheryl Lee Ralph's character said, "Your mom's going to be live on the YouTube."
The
Okay.
YouTube.
Hi, James.
Hi,
Welcome.
James.
Welcome. PR in PJs. So does that mean you're in your
Love it.
pajamas, or is that a location been using for a while? Don't like the new editing facility? Oh, and I'm hoping I will discover why it's absolutely impossible to identify where some pieces of speech are that need removing. We are going to cover that, PR, so you just hang in there. Christina, we've been working with Alitu for 6 months. Okay. Perhaps we could do things. Yep, I bet there's things that we could do that are quicker and easier. Is it me, Kat? Hi there. I've done one podcast so far. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just going to wait about 3 minutes for people to trickle in because it is lunchtime. And then we're going to get started because we are going to record. So, hey, Joy. Um, let's see here. It looks like Joy, are you in YouTube or are you in StreamYard? You should be at the YouTube link. Can you just confirm for me that that's where you were? Excited about the new video feature. So are we. It's like the best Zoom replacement, right?
At last, we've been waiting for it.
So, Joy, if you could just let me know if you're in YouTube, that would be great. And let me know if you need the YouTube link because it looks like maybe you're in both. Okay, you should not be in StreamYard. You should just be in YouTube. So I'm not sure. Let's see here. I think I can fix that, but I'm just explaining what's happening here. Would you send me a YouTube link? Absolutely. Just one moment here. And I will make sure you have that. There you go. There's the YouTube link. All right. Let's see here. Anyone else joining us? You're very welcome. I'm new to podcasting, old and lost. Well, we're going to get
Oh,
you found.
hi, Philip.
Oh, we are going to get you found.
Hey, Duchess in Albuquerque.
Awesome. So excited to be here. Generated boomcast. I just had to say that because it was all caps. So, yes, if you're just coming in, come on in. The water is fine. Just let us know if you're new to Alitu or if
Hey,
you
Depikia.
have been using it for a while and you just want a refresher. We are going to tell you what our quick agenda is going to look like when we get started because I know the questions you have. I have the same ones. Hey, Stephanie. Alitu is awesome. I've recorded 10 episodes. I am so
Oh,
excited
great.
to see people here who have used Alitu a little bit.
Hello. I spoke to Depikia just the other day, so I'm happy she's here.
Oh, yay. Z. Hey, Z.
Easy. Oh, it's nice to see familiar faces and names.
I know Graham from emailing. Yes. So my timer has 2 more minutes and then we're going to get started. So, hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's going to be fun. It's going to be such a great investment of your lunch hour. But if you have snacks, eat them.
Or if you're in the UK, it's already 5 p.m., so a great way to finish work.
So still finish work, snacks, eat them.
Always.
Is it 5? Oh, yes, it's 5 your time. I have a sheet up in my browser that tells me what time it is in Edinburgh because I could never keep that straight.
Yeah, our clocks finally changed, so we're back to 5.
Yes, awesome. All right, 1 minute left. If you have any questions that you want to ask, go ahead and ask that so I can put a note on it to make sure we get to that question at the end. Okay, Joy, I see you popping into StreamYard again when you should be in YouTube. Are you having trouble in YouTube? Okay, did the link I gave you not work? Let me give you another link here because that's where everybody else is. I'm putting it in the YouTube chat, which is weird to put a link to YouTube in the chat. But there is the YouTube link again. Okay, let's see here. I'm going back to peek at messages. Can we change? Okay, so I have a great question here. Z, I got your question. Dub over sections of recordings. I got your question, Stephanie. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, Graham. You're younger than I am. Do you understand that emoji from?
Not so much younger, I have to lean forward.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Thank you, everyone, for coming and coming so promptly. In case you don't know us, we think we've talked to everybody, but we know we haven't, since we have thousands and thousands of users. My name is Allegra, and I work on the success team here at the podcast host and Alitu. And with me today is the lovely Graham, who
Hello,
you guys have
everybody.
probably spoken with a lot as well. So if you pop into chat because you have a question or you send an email to help@Alitu, pretty likely you're going to get one of us, depending on the time it is that you send it. Z, I got your question. I've added that to the list. Stephanie, just keep sending the questions in and I'm tagging them all. And I promise at the end, when we open up for questions, we're going to start with those that you have submitted in advance. And then we'll open it up to regular questions. Hey, Barbara, very new to the podcast world. Glad you're here. So what we're going to do today is do a deep dive into editing. So for those of you who are brand new, we got you, because we're going to show you how to edit, and we're going to show you all the different options that are available with our newest UI in the editor. And then we're going to even cover the text editing feature. And then we're going to open it up and answer your direct questions so that we can help you guys edit faster and easier and feel more confident about the process.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, Graham, are you ready for me to share your screen?
Yes, I am. Okay, so here we are in the editor. I guess everyone will have seen this before, even if you're brand new. But just to have a quick look, we have some basic functions. We have the play key, we have the skip forward 10 seconds, jump to the end, and then the same in reverse. Jump back 10 seconds, and jump to the start. You can see here how long the length of your clip is. And then on the right-hand side, you have the playback speed. So it's set to normal, but you can speed it up. If you're editing a podcast that's 1 hour and you don't want to listen to yourself for an hour, just set that to 2 times, and you can go back to normal. So basically, if you've never done it before, to make an edit, it's super easy. Click a section, drag, let go, and that's the section you're going to cut out of your audio. You can cut it out, you can preview it, see what it sounds like. And you can also cancel if you don't want to remove the edit. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. You can see that the edit's been made because the red line is there. And if you want to open it up again, just click the pencil icon and you can make any adjustments you want. You can drag and edit, you can pick it up and move it, and then save it again. You can also use the undo keys here up in the top right-hand corner. So if you want to open it, just click undo. And if you want to remove it, just click undo again. So one thing we would recommend you do when you're editing is to use the zoom function, because it's just so much easier to see what you're going to do. So you can zoom in, zoom out. And when you do this, you can see, you can make sure you're making precise cuts that don't cover the waveform. So you never want to make a cut that's in the waveform like this, because it means you're going to be speaking in the middle, cutting in the middle of a word. So just adjust it and then cut it out. From the preferences button, there's a few things you can control. So we have a simple waveform, which is what we're using just now. I like it. And we also have a professional waveform, which just gives you a bit more detail. Zoom in so you can see that. The other thing you can do from the editor preferences is auto zoom when you're making cuts. So instead of having to zoom in manually like we were, so I'll show, before we were just doing it like this. Now, if you make a cut, it will just automatically zoom and open up for you. So you can really see what you're doing. The other thing you can do from up here is save an edited version of this file to your library. So you'll already have the original recording in your library, but once you've made these edits, you can save it to your library so you can use it again. You can put it in other episodes. So it's super handy. Just press export and it will go to your library. So we have a couple of other features up here. We have the magic filters, which is brand new. I think we just released that this week, Allegra.
Sorry, I was nodding. I had muted my microphone just in case I needed to sneeze. You know, it's allergy season over here. But yes, I think we just released that Tuesday.
Yeah. So there's two things you can do. You can remove unneeded silences. So if you've got long pauses in your clip, just toggle that on. And the other one is filler words, ums and ahs, which I always do when I listen back to my recordings. I think I was umming and ahhing. So you can just switch those on, apply the filters, and it'll add any new edits to your file. But you can edit them just the same as the rest. So this one's just been added. If I click it, I can choose to save it, preview, or restore. So if I don't want to use it, just click restore, and it's gone from the waveform. The other thing you can do here in the editor is you can split the clip in two. If you want to have an ad in the middle of your episode, or if you just have maybe a long interview and you want to release it as 2 episodes, a really good thing to do is to split the clip. Oh, no, I was still editing. So the important thing is, before you split a clip, I'd recommend that you save the file with the edits to your library, because once you've split it, you can't undo it. So once you're happy where you find the point in the episode where you want to split your clip, just hit split. It'll tell you at what point you're splitting it. So I'm cutting it at 11 seconds. You can rename the new 2 clips, click split, and then it's going to bring these 2 new clips into your episode. So you'd be able to insert another clip in between. Just let that process. So now they've processed. You've got your 2 separate clips and the edits are still there. Just go back. And then once you're happy with everything and you're done, just make sure to click save and exit. So Allegra, what do you think we should go over in the waveform? Anything else?
Well, I'm seeing that there were a bunch of questions that came through in a flurry when we were starting. So I want to grab a couple that related to what you just talked about. So let me come up here. Can you cut and paste from different sections of the audio? So you were answering that question as John was typing it. So you can split the clip and then you can slide the pieces around so that they're in whatever order you like.
Yeah.
So yes, you can, in essence, cut and paste. So you'll cut it, and then once it's split, go ahead, hon.
And I think we have a plans page. We can share the link. And I think it is a feature request to just have a super easy way to do it, to just cut a section and then paste it. So if people add their vote to that, that would be great, because our developers are always checking that plans page. I'll just find it.
I will. Oh, I was going to say, if you find that and pop it.
Oh, no, if you find it, that would be great.
Oh, yeah, I'll find it and then pop it into the chat. But yes, you can cut and paste.
James said some of us like cutting our words in the middle.
I know. I saw that. Okay, so we got the question about cutting and pasting. Let's see. I was trying to figure out. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how to cut gaps from some music I had uploaded. Is it Deepika as an Allegra? You can imagine my name is mispronounced a lot, so I apologize if I didn't get that right. But when you say you were trying to cut out gaps from music you had uploaded, could you say more about that? Because you uploaded the entire clip and there are gaps in it. So I'm wondering if you uploaded a short clip and it's looping, which is why there are gaps. I'm trying to figure out why there's gaps in your music. So could you tell us just a little bit more about that? And then Stephanie said we'll be able to have long silences automatically removed in the future. We just showed you the magic filters. So see, it was like Stephanie knew what you were going to show her.
But I think I did see someone else gave us feedback the other day that at the moment, when we've just launched it, sometimes it only cuts out a short silence, not as much as they want. So I had actually sent a message to our developers from someone, maybe it was the same person, and said, hey, in the future, in our next version, can we see if we can cut out longer silences?
So can I try not to tell secrets of things that are coming in the future. So I'm not one to gossip. So you didn't hear this from me, but some of us may have seen a version that lets you decide how much to cut out. So,
Oh,
for instance, right now, if it cuts out 3 seconds, there may be an option that you could cut out 5. But in the interim, you could always use the waveform and go in and cut more of the silence. But yes, enhancements to the silences could be coming in the future. See, I didn't tell anything that was coming in the future. I said theoretically or possibly it could happen. Let's see, was there another one?
oh, how to auto zoom. Yeah, I'll just show you again, Laura. So to auto zoom, click here the gear icon and your preferences will come up and you can just toggle it on or off. Oh, the other thing I didn't show you actually was the playhead. So you have an option for the playhead. You can choose to keep it in the center of the audio when you're playing it. So I'll just show you that. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. So when it's set to stay in the center, oh no, have I just turned that off? Yeah. So at the moment when it's switched off, the head will move to the right. But if you switch it to keep it in the center, oh, I think maybe that only happens if you're really zoomed in. Hold on. There, that's it. So if you're zoomed in, now you see that the playhead doesn't move to the right off the screen. It's the audio sound wave that moves, and the playhead will just be in the center. I thought I'd broken it there, but I didn't realize I was
No,
not zoomed in.
it just keeps you from getting lost if you have a longer piece of audio.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think these will be able to drop additional recorded segments into the episode in the future. Stephanie, you can do that right now.
Yeah.
So do you want to show her if you pop out of the editor into the episode builder?
Yep. So I'm just going to save and exit. So you can add as any files that you want. You just click the plus sign. So I'll just pick a new file, click add, and then you can just move them around like this. You can set them in any order you want. But yeah, you can add as many files. Well, I don't know. Is it as many files as you want? Is there a limit? It's unlimited.
Just
So, yeah.
keep clicking that purple plus icon and you can add as many different clips as you want. So for the person who was asking if they could cut and paste pieces of their episode around, what some podcasters will do is if they're doing their podcast in smaller segments of like 2 minutes, they'll record 4 2-minute segments because then they can slide them around easier than splitting it and then moving them. But if you play with it a little bit, you'll get a process that works for you.
For sure.
Okay, let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is show you the text editing, and then we're just going to move into questions because I'm waiting for, let's see, let me go back to live instead of there. Spill the beans. Look at you trying to get me in trouble. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. I see another question from Duchess. I've tagged that in the start. So Deepika, yes, it was looping. Okay, so there's 2 things here. So one thing that we didn't say in the beginning was if you are using a piece of audio and you want to use it in the background, so you're creating a voiceover audio with music in the background, you don't do that in the episode builder. You do that in the clip genie.
When I spoke to Deepika, we went over that on our call the other day. I think the problem is what you might be saying is you've used your own music and it's because it's not looping. But you know, if it's your own piece of music, it doesn't loop in the music editor without a pause.
Well, it can. So 2 things. So in the clip genie, if you use a clip that is shorter than your audio, it automatically loops. Okay. However, we have some music in our free music library that is designed as a loop so that when it starts over, you don't hear the music end and then begin again. So that is a specific music clip called a loop. It is designed to play over and over again. So if you're using a clip that is not designed that way, we will still loop it. But yes, you could hear an end to the song because that's how the music is. So depending on where you purchased the music from, they probably had more than one version. So if you've looked in our music library, for each song, there'll be maybe 5 or 6 different versions of different lengths, and one of them is called the loop. So the simplest thing would be to look for the looped version of the music that you want to use. You can edit it a bit so that it will loop less awkwardly, but if it's not designed to loop, there is going to be a period where you hear that music end before it starts again.
Yeah.
My voice note was longer than the music, so there are gaps. Yes, so that's why there are gaps, because that wasn't designed as a loop. So we will do our best to loop it for you. But yes, the first, if the clip isn't designed that way, then you're going to hear an end.
Yeah.
Z, can you show us how to do that? I think that was about the auto zooming. Z, let me know if we didn't answer a question there. Laura said auto zoom and upload a piece of music. Gotcha. Okay, great. Topeka is cool. Okay, so what I think we should do is I'm going to show you very quickly what the text editing looks like, and then we're going to open it up for questions, okay?
Yeah.
So let me switch this one here. I have covered it. Great, Z.
I wonder, random question, Allegra, is there a tool on the internet, not in Alitu, that you can get your music to loop that you know of?
I am not aware of such a thing, but it could be that I have been lazy. And in the 12 years or so I've been doing this, if I want something to loop, I just get the loop.
Yeah.
Right. So if I buy music off like Audio, what's it called? Audio Jungle, each piece I buy has like 10 different versions of different lengths. So I just use the looping one. There may be somebody who has more electronic music skills than I. I am not aware of a program that does that. You used to be able to do something similar with GarageBand, but I'm not sure if that feature's still in there since they started taking out all their podcasting friendly things. Shame on GarageBand. Okay, so how excited are you that, can you export transcripts? Absolutely. So we're about to jump into that. Okay, create a graph. Okay, so I'm just going to keep starring these. Graham, if you see other questions pop up in the live comments, if you'll put a star on them, then when we go to questions, we can just go straight down the list and do those. So let's talk about, I call it text editing, but I've heard it called text editing, transcription editing. At the end of the day, the text editing feature lets you edit using the words in addition to being able to use the waveform. So here is an episode that I created just for us for today. And if I click in here into this piece of audio and I decide, you know what, I'd rather edit the text than the waveform. All I do is I come down here where it says audio transcript. Can everybody see my little mouse moving down there? I come over here to where it says audio transcript and I just click that to turn it on. And then you'll see it tells me it's transcribing. Now this piece of audio is 2 minutes and 44 seconds long. So it is not going to take very long to transcribe. If you have uploaded an audio that is 2 hours long, it's going to take longer than the 2 minutes that we have right here, right, in order to transcribe that, because it depends on the length, the speed of your internet connection. But if you have waited 15 minutes and your file is under 30 minutes long, give us a holler and chat so we can see if something got stuck. But if you're uploading a file that's longer than 30 minutes and it takes you more than 5 minutes to transcribe it, that is natural because the computer is working. So now that I turned on transcription, you can see down here that there are words and it's the transcript instead of me having to look at the waveform here. So what first thing I want to show you is if you don't want to look at the waveform at all, and for me, I find it distracting, you can just click here where it says expand transcript, and then it makes the waveform go away so I can focus on my words. So here, when I want to edit, instead of scrolling along the waveform, I'll actually go to the words to edit them. So I have some errors in here on purpose. I'm trying to think of where I put them. That's right. I had to make boo-boos on purpose. But let's say I want to remove this sentence here while also returning the favor to the Tigers. So I'm going to say leading Iowa to their second straight Final Four appearance. And then I'm grabbing my mouse and I'm just highlighting this section. And then it pops up for me once I let go, and I can preview it to listen to what it's going to sound like with this section cut out, or I can just go ahead and cut it. So now it's saying leading Iowa to their second straight Final Four appearance following last year's national championship loss. Okay. I can go through and make any changes I want based on what I'm reading here in the transcript. Let's say there's something specific in here and I want to remove, like, I'm trying to think if I said a word that I specifically want to take out. So let's pretend I want to take out the word powerhouse. So down here in the search bar, if I type in the word that I know I spoke or my guest spoke, it takes me straight to that part of my transcript where that word is. So I can take that out. So let's say I don't like that word. I'm just going to highlight this word right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to preview it. I'm going to cut it out. So I
Would
preview
have
it
been a part of perennial
and I think,
championship
oh,
winning.
you know what? If I cut that out, it sounds weird. So I'm just going to click away from that and not make the change. Got it? So it didn't make the change. It's still highlighted for me because down here in the search bar, I still have this word. So let's say I wanted to look for the word so, because I say so a lot. So then such and such, or so what you're saying is, it's like my version of or ah. I say so. So if I just wanted to see, okay, Lord, how many times did I do that today? So there are 5 instances where it sees S and O, but guess what? Some of them are in season or some. So there's just this so right here. But if I wanted to, I could quickly go in and find all the so's and remove them. Okay. So I have edited my transcript using the words, and I think to myself, you know what? I just want to check where this edit happened. All I need to do is go over here and unshrink my transcript. And now I can see the waveform. So that edit that I made, it's right here. I can click in here just like I always could, and I can zoom in. I can make any tweaks. I can see that's in the middle of a word. Sorry, James, I don't want to tweak it in the middle of the word. Or was that John who said he likes to edit in the middle of a word? I didn't want to do that. So then I'm going to save my edit, right? So all the edits that I have made for the transcript will appear up here in the waveform. Make sense? So I can search the transcript. I can make edits right on the transcript. I can expand the transcript so it takes up more of the page. And then I save and exit just like Graham did when he was finished with his exit. So all of the changes that I made have been saved into this file. Oh my God, I love that feature. I'm excited that you love it. Using text will make editing so much easier than only by audio. Joy, we live to serve. For some reason, your text transcription never comes up though. So in your use of the tool, Joy, when you come in to take a look at the edit, you don't see a button. Well, see, I've already turned transcripts on here. You don't see the option to turn on a transcript. My question is, are you using the new editor or the old editor? Because you must be using our newest editor in order to use the transcription. So here I went to settings, and then here under app preferences, you can see there's a standard audio editor and a new editor. If you will make sure that you're using the new audio editor, then the transcription option should be available to you. Okay, Joy? You like the title too? The title of the feature or the title of the piece that I was pretending?
I think it's your episode.
Well, I was listening to the news this morning while I was sitting outside, and I heard a pretty spicy debate. So that's what I decided to record. I see that option, and I'm using the new editor. Okay, so Joy, if you'll tell, so 2 things. If you'll tell us a little bit more about what is happening, then we can figure out why you're not seeing the transcript option. And then 2, you can always pop into chat, and we can take a look at that later today. Oh, goat or no goat? Yes, that is a fun title. Can you cut and drag the edit in the transcript to a different section? Like you can move things around in the when you're dragging and dropping. No, that is a fascinating idea. I would love it if we suggested that as a feature request for the guys who are still working on this. Because remember, transcription, gosh, was it a month ago we released that? And they're working on updates to that right now. I do not believe, I'll double check that I'm not lying to you. I do not believe I can do that, but let me see what happens if I try. Let's see, Pistol Pete Maravich. Yes, you know why I know it won't do that? Because it wouldn't do that in the waveform, so it's not going to do it here in the transcript. But that's a really good idea that I would be able to move the words around, like cutting and pasting. So I'll make sure we add that to the list. I've not had an easy time editing on waveform Hey, Duchess. So I subscribed to Descript so I could edit by words. In text editing, can I replace or correct a word by recording a new word? In text editing, can I replace or correct word? You cannot record right here. So, for instance, when I looked up the word powerhouse, if I wanted to say something else, I can't just type that different word and then that word is spoken. That is not available in this edition of our transcript. See, I didn't give away any secrets. I just said that is not available in this version of our transcript editing. So I could cut that word out, but if I decided to cut that word out, what I would likely do is I would go up to the waveform and I would split it, and then I would record the new recording that I wanted, the word, the phrase, whatever it was, and then I would just have that play sequentially. So if I wanted to
Yeah.
make an edit and I wanted to add new audio that's not in there, I would record it directly into the episode. Can I patent that idea? I don't know, John. I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on TV. The question John asked is what I was initially asking, if the words can be moved around or better yet, sections. That would be great. I agree. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. So we had a question from Philip earlier who said he'd recorded earlier in the week, but he couldn't find the recording. Philip, we'll reach out to you in chat and sort that out for you.
Okay, because we'll have a couple of follow-up questions. But yes, we will follow up. Okay, so are we ready for questions? I'm going to look through the starred section right now, and then we can go back and look at live. So, can we change the background? I'm going to ask you these questions, Graham. It's quiz. Can we change the background of the video when we're in the recording studio?
At the moment, no, but hopefully in the future, yes. No, at the moment you can't change it.
We know there was an email that made it look like it could, so we apologize for that.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't trying to psych you out. Right now, whatever background you have, see, even if it's messy shelves, that's what we'll show. Will we be able to dub over sections of recordings in the future? So I think the question there is if you would be able to highlight something and I think it's the same question that we were just talking about, where you could record something right on top of something that was already there. If that's what you mean by dub over, will you be able to do that in the future? We would have to suggest that and or see if the team is working on that, but I know you cannot do that now. No. You can add audio, but not on top of some audio that is already there. To do that, you would need to have multiple tracks. And that's the hint I'm going to give you. Did you catch that?
You're just spilling all the tea today.
I won't be asked back because I am misbehaving. Oh, let's see. Big question is, when will Alitu launch video recording? I'm not sure. I do know that we are working on it, but I have no idea. Like, I would completely be lying if I tried to give you a date. But I will tell you that 80% of our users are audio only still. And when we just did a recent survey of podcasters, the number of podcasters who are going straight video or video where you actually see the person versus a video that's like a static image or something like that, is moving a lot slower than we anticipated it would. So we are absolutely working on that, but I'm afraid I don't have a date for when that will be out.
Oh, great joy. The transcript text editing is working for you now. Woo.
It's kind of like when you go to the car dealer and it makes the noise until you get there. That's what's happening. Just us talking about it made it start working. I was trying to figure out how to cut out gaps for music. Yep, I think we got Topeka on that one. We're going to follow up with Philip.
Okay. Yep, I think we already have a chat with you, Philip. I recognize your name.
Using the split, could I insert some audio like a rim shot without having to record it separately in insert? So we just covered that. Yeah. No. You would have to record the audio in order to insert it. But also the rim shot, I think a rim shot is that like ba-dum-bum thing like they do on late night TV or some sort of sound effect. Yes, you couldn't add that on top of video unless there were multiple tracks. But you could split the audio and then add your sound effect, or just at the end of the audio, add that sound effect and it plays right after that audio. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one, Graham. Can you create a gap on the waveform and then drop in a segment on that same page without splitting the clip?
No. Wait, can you create a gap on the waveform? No, you would have to split the clip. to insert
to
the new
create the
segment.
gap.
Yeah, but it is super easy. Like if you just split the clip, you can just, when you press the plus sign, you can just hit record right there and just record, and you don't have to go away to the recorder or anything. You can just do it right in the episode builder. So at the moment, no, you can't just do it without splitting the clip.
I am not looking forward to video. Sorry, sound is enough to deal with. So, James, what I will say is Colin wrote a really good blog post recently about podcasters who are feeling pressure to add video. And if the thought of adding video makes you slow down or get nervous about your podcast, then know that you never have to do it. How about that? You have a permission slip to add video if you like, or not add video. It's really up to you.
Oh, like, can we just show Philip how to click the chat bubble in the right bottom right-hand corner?
Sure. You still see my screen, right?
Yep.
So see my mouse right down here, this little purple looks like a smiley face with no eyes. Just click that and the chat bubble pops up. So you can ask a question right here.
And then if you click on messages, there'll be the chat we already have open with you, but you can always send another one.
Cool.
So that is
and then, because we get this a lot, so let's suppose you've activated that and now you want to work on your podcast and you're like, okay, how do I make this go away? This little divot right here. So go back to that little purple circle and just click that and it pops right down. Can I export the text of the transcript? So let me show you that really quickly before I stop sharing. So for an episode, the transcript that I edit with and the transcript that I export are going to be two different things. Because remember, the transcript that I pulled in initially to edit with, that was generated one time, but the transcript that actually matches my finished episode is different. So do I have anything here? I'm just going to pretend, because I think this one is pretty short. Let's see. Yep, 14 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what is this? The latest and greatest. I'm going to come back out here and I'm going to come, oh, I've already published this episode. Oh, okay. So if I click here on details and I come here, you can see I have already generated the transcript. So now all I need to do is click download transcript. So this transcript matches exactly the episode that I published. So again, you'll go to your episode, and then once it's already published, you can just click on details, and I can tell it's published right there on the status. Click on details, and then if you have not yet generated the transcript, this button right here will say generate transcript. So you click that, wait 10 minutes or so for that to generate, and then you can come back here and download it. And when I click to download it, it actually shows me the speaker names because it knows there's more than one person talking. So I can just type right in here and give each of the speakers a name, and then it will assign that when I download my transcript. Whoops. Helps if I have a brace on my hand that's hitting the space bar. I could include timestamps if I'd like or not. And then it just downloads a plain text file that I can do whatever I want with. I can pull it in a text editor. I can upload this to my website so that the text is available.
Yeah. So Stephanie, you said, how do you relink the episode together after you split the clip to add a new segment in, or will it happen automatically? Yep, it happens automatically. So you just add in your new segment, and then once you go to build your episode, it all gets tied together. So you don't need to do any relinking.
If I understood you, Allegra, I can't re-record using the text, but I could record and add a new word by using the waveform. That is absolutely correct, Duchess. You can't re-record in the text editing, but you can in the waveform. I'm still amazed. I love that. I'm still amazed that ums and ahs can be taken out. We're amazed sometimes too.
So is it Maycat? You're right. Yeah, you can only export the transcript once you get to the publish page. Not in the editor, but once you're ready to publish.
Because then that will be your final version.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, we need video recording, please. It is coming. PR. Yesterday, I had a short noise appearing when the track was played in the box's play option, but absolutely impossible to find in the waveform. I had to split to get rid of it, whatever it was. So PR, I have a couple questions, as you knew I would. So under your app preferences, are you using the simple or the professional waveform? Because if you're having trouble finding something, I would switch to professional because it gives you just a bit more detail. And then I would zoom in to see what the short noise was. because I'm wondering if the noise was something in your environment, or if maybe there was an artifact left over from a word that you edited right before that. So what you were hearing might have been left over from the previous word, but your edit was editing kind of in the middle of the word. I'm not sure what the box's play option is, but that would be my first instinct without looking at it for how to find it in the waveform. It sounds like you got rid of it, but if you were still having trouble with that, if you'll just pop into chat and let us know the name of the episode, we can log into your account and take a look at what is happening with that.
So Z asked, does it matter which browser one uses for Alitu? Is Google Chrome better than Edge? Yes, Alitu works best in Chrome, optimized for Chrome. So always Chrome for the best experience.
Can I export this transcript now after editing it as a Word doc or something else? So when you export your transcript, it's always a text file, but you could certainly pull that into Word or Pages or just any text editor. You can do anything you want with it. How do I find the chat with you, Graham? So Graham, do you think there's currently a chat open with
Yep,
Philip?
there is, definitely.
So when Graham responds to your chat, if you're not logged into Alitu, it will send you an email. If you are logged in, Graham's going to pop up in that chat area on the right-hand side. It's going to be like magic.
Hello.
He's going to pop up on the right. Okay, when I send an invite to my interviewee, we meet on Google Meets and then move over to Alitu Recording Studio. But I'm finding the browser I'm on makes a difference. So why do you meet in Google Meets, Z? Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm wondering why you do that.
Was it maybe before we had the video streaming?
Or I'm thinking maybe it was when the minute you went to the studio, we're automatically recording. So if they want to chat for a little bit before they start, because we did change that feature several months back. So yeah, why are you meeting in Google Meet first? Okay, so that means I can only export it once it's published. You can generate the transcript more than one time. So if I edit my episode and I think, okay, it's done, and I have it at the ready to publish stage, but I haven't yet published it, I can generate the transcript at that point. And then if I go back and make other edits, and then I want my transcript to match what my actual episode will be, I can generate the transcript again. I will just say, just something to keep in mind, each account has 12 hours a month of transcription included for free. If you go over that, you may see a note that says, hey, you ran out of transcription hours. You can always contact us if you want to get an additional hour for $1. But right also inside your account as well, I'm no longer sharing, but I certainly could. It will tell you what your transcription hours are. So let me share my screen one more time here to show you that. And I want you to see this. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here in transcription, so I'm just in settings on the left-hand side, and then I'm coming down here to transcription. So it tells me that my available hours were 11 hours and 55 minutes because I have used 5 minutes of my 12 hours. Okay, so you can generate a transcript again. You don't only have one time to generate it, but yes, you'll generate it at the very end to make sure that it matches your recording.
Yeah, so Z said, yeah, meet on Google Meets to have a quick pre-run of the meeting. Well, now in the recorder, you can enter the studio and chat to your guest without recording. So you can do the same thing. That was just released as well, I think, quite recently.
And then when you're ready to record, you just click start recording. So you could do your pre-meeting right inside Alitu.
Yeah. So Deepika asked, does the transcript generation also produce summary notes? Not the transcript, but we do have an AI title and description generator, as well as the transcript.
Okay, PR is all sorted out. So I have, I see 3 more questions, so I'm going through and grabbing those. So just give me a second, guys. I see 3 more questions that I'm putting stars on to make sure we don't miss them. Whoops. And then we're going to go through those. So keep your questions coming. As long as you have questions, we will stay here and answer them. Also, let us know if you liked this, because we've been doing focus sessions more, trying to break down some of the more complicated tasks. So we did one on how hosting works. We did one on how you come up with content for your podcast so you don't get to that dreaded 5th episode and think, I don't know what to talk about next. And now we're doing this one on editing. So please let us know if you like this format and what other types of things that you'd like to see if you like it. So how does create video work?
Create video. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So let's see. Do you want me to share my screen, or
I can stop sharing so you
or
can.
you can do it if you want?
Since my screen is already up. I'm such a numpty. I forgot I was sharing. Okay, so let me come back down here to this one.
Step on your boots or something.
Oh, no, it's okay. I forgot that quickly that I was already sharing. So create video creates a video version of this episode. So it will use a static image that at this instant is not customizable. And then it will put a waveform on top of it. So it will create a video of my episode that I could then upload to YouTube if I wanted to share it there. Or I could upload it to any site that accepts video. It is a horizontal. Yes, horizontal. I was like, wait, horizontal? Yes, it's a horizontal shaped video, landscape shaped video. Yes, which will have a waveform that's moving in the center and a static image behind it. And you could upload that anywhere that accepts video. So that's how create video works. Once I have created it, so all I'll need to do is click create video here, and it'll tell me, hey, we're creating that. And then when it's done, it just takes a few minutes. I'll see a button that says download video, and it downloads an MP4. So thanks for the question, Z. Okay, Graham. Can the transcript be uploaded to the Alitu hosted podcast website?
At the moment, no, but we are still on version 1 of the podcast website, so I do think it's something we're hoping to be able to do. But at the moment, the podcast website is super simple. It's just your episodes. And you can link to any of your own personal websites to wherever the podcast is listed, but not at the moment the transcript.
One other thing I'll mention about transcripts, since we're talking about them, is Apple has just added transcripts to Apple Podcasts. It's rolling out across their entire directory on some sort of schedule that they didn't share exactly. But if your podcast has a transcript, you can use that transcript. You'd go in through Apple Podcast Connect and give it the file. It has to be in a specific format, but you can use a file that you provide. If there is no file provided, Apple will transcribe your episode and then make that transcript available inside Apple Podcasts. Okay. Is there a place to store a template for our templates to auto-populate in the description later? So I'm assuming you mean like a template for the show notes. There is not. Yes, I think I know. Let me know, Stephanie, if that's not what you meant. But I think what you're talking about is something that I have seen where it kind of builds the show notes for you. You have some placeholders in there, and it goes out and looks at your transcript and like pulls together your show notes. Is that what you meant by template? Some of the AI tools do that. For instance, like Cast Magic or what is that one that Deirdre has? Capshow. Some of those have a template that auto-populates in your description. We do not have that built into Alitu at this time. But if that's something you would like to see, I would absolutely go to plan.alitu.com and submit that in our feature request area, because the dev team looks right at that when they get ready to plan for their next session for when they're going to be adding things to Alitu. They go to see what things are in there. And the joy of you adding it there is that other users can vote on it as well. So it's not just your one vote. Because if you put something in there and other people like it, they're going to vote for it as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, are there any new questions that I missed?
Z asked if you're able to change, alter, edit the static image on the video. At the moment, no. Unfortunately, no.
I see another one from Deepika. Oh, I see more down here. I'm grabbing these all, so they're going up to the start area. Best practice. Oh, this is great. Okay, great. We'll keep doing these. Yes, to the focus sections. Still learning and improving. Hey, me too. What does Alitu mean? We used to have a blog post that actually said that. There was a very long, I'm not sure if it was true. I think it was very tongue-in-cheek. What Alitu meant. I don't know that it has
I think I remember there was a discussion
remember
about
that?
it once, and someone
Yeah,
that we
like
worked
2
with,
years ago.
I don't want to get this wrong, but it's one of the languages of India. I'm not sure which one. It means a substitute. Alitu is substitute. So I guess it's to use Alitu instead of all your other editing tools. It's your
I like
substitute.
that works as well as any
But
other.
please do not quote me on that. But I think it's a nice explanation. Alitu is a substitute.
Best practice discussions would be good. That is fascinating. I like that idea. You guys have the best ideas. A focus session that was a bunch of different Alitu users talking about their best practices. That could be neat.
Mhm.
Solicit in our community of people and find out what things they think are magical. I like that. I can pretty much guarantee that one's going to happen. Can you make small clip audiograms in Alitu? Not at this moment. I suggest it a lot.
Yeah.
And we have a feature request for that. So I know that it's in the queue, but it doesn't have an exact date. I
Mhm.
personally would love that, especially if it made square ones or vertical ones. So
Yeah.
it is not available in Alitu at this time. But once we finish, as you'll look out there in the feature requests, we have some feature requests that have a lot of votes that people have been waiting on. And we're really trying to knock out the ones in order that people have been waiting for, which is how we came up with text editing and how we came to ums and ahs. Like we're absolutely listening to what people say they want. So these other things, they're coming as well, but the bigger pieces, we knock them out first. So then the smaller pieces can kind of come like an avalanche. And we're just dazzling you every other week with something that you've asked for.
Oh, and Z said, yes, we need to have more sessions like this. And one would be great on, once your episode is created, how to publish best practices. So that would be great. Publish it. Put that on the list.
Okay.
James said, I'm really offended that Alitu has made it so easy for me to sound professional. I'm going to have to work hard to sound unprofessional now.
Well, you could follow me. I have done several things in there that have sounded unprofessional. I like the time I forgot to cut my intro music clip, so all 3.5 minutes of it played before you actually heard the podcast episode. That wasn't my finest moment.
Oh, sorry, Philip. We'll respond as soon as we finish this session. Because he said no one has replied at the moment, but as soon as
because everybody who would be in chat is here talking to you.
We're here. I will. I promise. In just a few minutes, I'll reply to you.
Okay, let's see. Nobody's responding to my chat. Yes, because we're here. We're a small company. So when you pop in, you're literally talking to us. Ooh, add more free music into the library. That's a good one because we have more free music. We just need to give somebody a little poke to add some more there. I like that. Can you talk about the podcast website? I saw one in settings. Absolutely. And then I saw another one about teaser. You guys are typing so fast. I'm like, oh, how do you create a teaser type clip once you've created the episode? Not sure what the correct term is for putting on social media. So there's two things. So a teaser clip is usually something that appears right before the episode, but in that episode, kind of like on TV when they tease you so that you'll come back after the commercial, or they tease you to come back for next week. That's usually part of the episode. But if you wanted to create something that you could use on social and you wanted to grab a piece of audio to perhaps use a different tool to create an audiogram, when the episode is ready to go and you've identified a piece that you think would make a great audiogram, make sure you save that file to the library. And then go in and delete everything except the clip that you want to use, and then save that to the library and title it whatever the name of the episode is, teaser, so that you can find it easily. Because then in the library, you'll be able to download that specific section, so that 36 seconds or that 90 seconds, and then use that in a different tool like Headliner or Audiogram in order to put that on social. It's easier to find that. We are working on the ability for you to grab the clip and save that separately. Oops, was I supposed to say that? Okay, I'm going to let Graham answer questions.
No, I think what Allegra said for sure. No, we are. Yeah, you're right.
But that's the way you could do it right now. Make sure that you've saved the episode and then delete everything that you don't want and then save that to the library so you have just that teaser.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I missed one.
Oh, James says that, yes, Alitu means substitute in Tamil and Indian dialect. Oh, thanks, James.
Oh, cool. All right. So am I still sharing? I am. So I do not know. Let me look at my settings real quick because I have probably 18 different accounts. So let me see if I have. It's true. So let me show you. Included with your Alitu account, if you're hosting here at Alitu, is a podcast website. So I'm going to copy this link, and I'm just going to tell you I'm a little nervous about this because I don't know what it looks like. Oh, okay. So it's not crazy entirely. But on your podcast website that's provided from Alitu, you'll have your podcast artwork here. Obviously, this is a testing, right? Because my name is not Testing Smith. I told you it's Allegra. But you'll have your podcast here, your description, and then easy links for people to listen to your podcast on the larger directories. And then this is a listing of all of your episodes. So if you do not have a podcast website and you want to have a podcast website, you can just go into Alitu here and turn your podcast website on. Okay, so then you'll fill out your podcast details, which includes the name, the description, your artwork. So this is under podcast details. Like when you're setting up your podcast and you select the category, the language, all of that, because your podcast website pulls this information from your podcast details for your podcast website. And then on podcast distribution here, if you have submitted your show to Apple Podcasts, you'll add the link here. And then that's how you populate that section of the website that people can easily go and listen to your show on other directories. So podcast websites included for free. Here, if I had a bunch of other links, like if I had my link to Facebook or Twitter or the other social sites, all of those icons would show up here if I had populated those in my podcast details. Or I can just go to a listing here and it has all of my episodes. So I'm going to go to, I think it's pocketsizepodcasting.com because that one is more fleshed out because that's a live show that Colin produces. So here you'll see he has the Twitter.
Oh, wait, I think we can only steal your Alitu tab. Sorry.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Thank you. Let's see. Share this tab instead. Okay. Do you see it now?
Yep.
Sorry about that. So this is what the podcast websites look like. So it'll have your podcast name, it'll have your podcast artwork here, and then your description, the host, all that information that comes right from your podcast details. And then here, he has only included the link for Apple Podcasts in his podcast details. So that's why this is the only link that shows up here. And then all of the episodes are here. So if I want to go in and see more about roadside promotion, just like on any other podcast website, I could click on that. And then it takes me to the full description of this podcast episode. And I can click right here and listen to it. And yes, before you ask, if they listen here, does that count as a download? Yes, because whenever somebody listens to your podcast from your RSS feed that's hosted here at Alitu, it will show up in your download statistics.
Yeah.
You were going to ask that, weren't you?
I was.
I know. Somebody was going to ask that. So yes, this is the podcast website that you saw the settings for. So you just go into your settings and then go to podcast website and you'll pick the URL. So this one is psp.alitu.com, but yours might be philip.alitu.com. When you try to pick that, as long as nobody else has used that, you'll be able to use that as your URL. If somebody else has already picked it, we'll tell you that that has already been used. Okay. Let me know if there are other questions there. I've been using Clip Genie to create auto stuff for social media and then putting it on the image in Canva. That works as well too. So I'm going to repeat that one slower. If you want to create an audiogram right now, you could use Clip Genie to create the audio portion of that and then add it to an image in Canva, and Canva will let you create an audiogram. So that's a way of creating an audiogram from your Alitu show right now.
So Joy, you were saying you don't see the option to distribute to Spotify or the option for podcast website. It might be you've not connected to Alitu hosting yet. So you won't see those options in your settings until you set up your hosting. So you should, if you see the podcast hosting option, you can connect with Alitu and then you'll see those other options.
Let me share this real quick while we're talking about it. So here under settings, under podcast hosting, in order to use the podcast website and to see those distribution options, you must be hosting with Alitu. If you're not hosting with Alitu, just click this button right here that says connect in your dashboard, and just like that, you're connected with Alitu. However, if you've been hosting somewhere else, don't just click that button. So let me stop you. If you've been hosting
Good
somewhere else,
point.
you do need to migrate your show here to Alitu, and we have a great article in the knowledge base that will help walk you through that. But if you do not have a host at all yet, if you're just getting started and you want to host with Alitu, it's super simple to just click the connect button in your dashboard, and Alitu will be your host. We do have the ability to transcribe audio into other languages. Are there 30 languages right now?
But I wonder if Z means that, you know how there's, if you Google Translate, it will translate your English into any language. I wonder if you mean that, Z, that if you could have your English transcription automatically translated.
Oh, do you mean you want to hear the audio in other languages?
Not the audio, maybe just the transcript. I don't know. I have a feeling I spoke about Z this about before.
Oh, really?
Maybe I'm mistaken.
James, I set my website up last night. It was easy. Awesome. You're very welcome. I don't see that option to distribute to Spotify under my settings. Yes, so the distribution settings will show up if you're hosting with Alitu. So Joy, if you still don't see that, please let me know, because we can easily give you the link to the article that explains that. Our knowledge base, which we update all the time, does walk you through all these, but we know it's more fun to ask in person.
Ah, yeah, Joyce said, gotcha, I'm hosting with Captivate. So
okay, so in Captivate, you'll go to Captivate's distribution area. I don't think it's called distribution. It might be called publish. But Captivate has a section where you can include the URL there for your show on Spotify and all the other directories. And Captivate also provides a podcast website, which behaves similarly to the Alitu hosted website. So yes, you'll put that on Captivate. Yes, he wants to hear the audio in other languages. Yes.
I mean, I wonder, probably won't be that long before AI is doing that.
True.
AI is...
That would be another one I would want to put in the feature request, though, so that guys would look at that. I shouldn't say guys, but all our developers do happen to be men. I'm not being sexist. Yeah, but to hear it in other languages, I think AI is already doing that. I'm just not sure if we're looking at that. If I record in English, the ability to convert it to German, French, I get it. How do I find the knowledge base? help.alitu.com.
Or if you click the chat button in the bottom right-hand corner, you can search the articles.
I just put that in the chat. Please place in the feature request. Okay. All right. We're straight up at 1 o'clock. Are there any other questions? I'm doing that right now. Thank you. You're very welcome. Our pleasure. We love talking with you guys.
Thank you very much all for coming.
I'm just going to hang out for a couple of minutes. If you have another question, speak now. We are going to put this replay. Well, you can come back to this YouTube link and watch this replay whenever you like, but we'll also embed the video in our community, the Indie Pod community, which I hope everybody knows about, where we have about 3,000 podcasters hanging out, playing, asking questions, helping each other, encouraging each other on this journey. I should put the link for the community in here as well. It's IndiePod, thepodcasthost.com, but I will put this right inside our chat as well. It is free to join, and when you join, if you use the email to join that you use for Alitu, you should automatically get access to the Alitu VIP section, so that when we have exclusive events and opportunities, you will get to see those as well. So, Deepika, I just put the link right inside here. This was fantastic. I learned so much. You know, you can say that to me all day and twice on Sunday. That's right. Tell us that we were fantastic. Say it
Always
again.
welcome. Always welcome.
Oh, so just one more minute to see if there are any other questions. What community? We are falling down on the job. Yes, it's called IndiePod, and we have all sorts of trainings in there. There's a ton of replays, and let's see, on the 24th of this month, our next event in the community is we have an expert coming in to talk about how to grow your podcast without social media.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. We had a meeting yesterday, and I was peppering her with questions to prepare her for our community. Amazing session. Can't wait to use this more. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. That's what we really wanted.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
Yay. Okay. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in. I see the praise though, and I'm loving it. I'm living for that.
I'm going to screenshot that.
I know. But yes, the recording will be available here just as soon as YouTube processes it. And then will also be available inside the community if you prefer to view it in there. We'll see you in chat.
Yep. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.